Here we are in the shop. We've had a night to sort of warm up, and we're ready to legitimately look at it. As far as things that need rebuilding, I mean the handles don't need rebuilding, but it'd be nice if these actually turned. So those, the crank screw mechanisms are all jammed. Let's get this apart. Now, I was amazed to see how little held this on. We've got 2 bolts there, 1 in the middle there. The carriage is held on by 3. You've got an arch, and then a center pivot, and an arch and a center pivot. So those have got to come off. It's going to be a pain in the butt, because once you remove these, then you have to set the saw up in alignment with the table. Then you can align everything else to the saw. So, but I don't know any other way to do it. That's just what's going to have to happen. So first, we're going to pull all these apart and have a look at that table.
Dad, what's you made this for?
We're fixing a saw. One day we'll do it for you. This is the underside of the table, and here are some of the saw blade alignment pins, and you access these from the top half, and mine really look rusted in. So here's hoping that I don't have to reset those, although it looks to me like that one isn't touching. But basically that's how you tip the blade to, you set it at 0 and then you tip the whole carriage mechanism until she's straight up and down. And then you adjust on these sort of wobble posts, and I can see where it used to be, but if you're off even a 16th, it's going to be a tremendous pain in the butt. So you're just going to have to reset it. It's complicated and it's irritating, but there's just no way around it. But I don't see any problems. See what I mean? That's like, it's like dirt, like mud. Huh. I don't see any problems with this. No cracks. I haven't checked it for warping yet. If it's warped, there's not a whole lot I can do about it. Once this mechanism apart, it's kind of floppy. So I'm gonna have to figure out how all this comes out of there. I think you pull the handles and then it drops out. I'm not sure. Here is the saw's tilt lift unit. You're going to want to remove anything that you're probably going to break or bend. So, for instance, the angle indicator arm here. I'm going to put that screw back in. This is the screw that drives the tilt, and in this case, this one's in rough shape. It's actually difficult for me to turn by hand. Up there. That's about all I can do. The tilt is in a little better condition. The swing here is going to ride on this little groove, and I haven't pulled it apart to see whether it's a stud or a pin, but it's going to ride right down there. Looks to me like it's just a radius edge on both sides. Now on this, the rear one is locked dang near solid, and front one, much better condition. Tip it around. Right there, we've got another swing rub point right here where this slides past. Boy, that arbor is in great shape. I said I would do the bearings just cause. Maybe we'll pull it apart and have a look at it so you can see if you need to do your bearings, but there's just no reason to mess with a good thing down in there. Let's get some wire brush in here and clean it. This will come out right here. You have got an E-clip, and then you'll unscrew that pin out backwards. This one this is the tilt. That just straight up unscrews. This is its swivel bearing stuff. Swivels with this one right here. They work together in conjunction, and it is in surprisingly rough shape. Might have to polish that some. Overall, everything in here makes me happy. I was approaching this disassembly the wrong way around. I was trying to remove these E-clips and then unscrew that bar out backwards, because I figured that's where the majority of my cranking difficulty came from. This is what you want to do. And what there is a non-pivot keeper pin and an E-clip. So you pull both of those. Now this thing was basically locked on solid. I got it apart by just pivoting it back and forth hundreds of times while pulling up. You do not want to stick anything under these surfaces and pry. None whatsoever. Because if you mark up these surfaces, you're in trouble. So that's how I got this apart. And again, boy, that bearing is in great shape.
I said no sawdust and the saw.
No sawdust in the shop?
Uh-huh.
Good luck with that.
I expected those boards are gonna get sawdust on it. You have to sweep all the sawdust off the saw.
You got to sweep all the sawdust off the shop?
After the saw.
Oh, okay.
It's all messy up.
It is that. All right. So once I got that apart, I could pull this, which then helped me find out that there is no real resistance there. In fact, I was surprised to find that it has two rubber O-rings, which forms a bit of a grease seal in here, so that you can actually have oil. That's one of the problems with table saws, is you can't oil them, or they'll just become a sticky, gummy, nasty mess. I use graphite wax, and I'll put a link to a video showing you how to make your own. I mean, once you make a block of it, it'll last you forever. So anyways, that's all apart now. So that's taken care of. The swing is apart. To get this out, that's a simple step. This bolt here simply unscrews. And what you have is a stepped bolt and a compression washer right there. So that comes apart. And then this thing here should, I think, yep, pop right off. This was a huge source of cranky swing action. We have this one over here, which is removed by this bolt. Now the saw does not clamp the rear swing track. It only clamps the front one. So this bolt here is used to adjust the sliding tension. Okay, so you've got a nylon washer. My gut feeling is the other side's also supposed to have a nylon washer. I would really bet you that nylon washer has broken and is missing. So we'll try to source one of those. And then this end here comes off. Now, of my two ends, this one here was by far the stickiest. Now, I don't know if they are different, so I'm going to go ahead and mark this right now so that it isn't possible to mix them up.
Daddy, why
So.
made a mess in the saw?
Well, it happens, bud.
And sweeping up the saw, you want me to make a mess again.
Now, this would be for the splitter and chip hood, which I don't have, though I'm going to leave it on the saw because I don't see a need to take it off. Maybe the young man who gets this will purchase one. So that's where we sit there. I can tell that some of my swivel problems came from these being gummy. They've been oiled, and of course that oil has turned to tar, caked in sawdust, so we'll need to clear those off completely.
Daddy, as you will make a mess in the saw.
Sorry, bud.
So you try to make a saw.
Yeah?
I would get really mad.
Oh, well, I'm in real trouble then, aren't I? Alright, so that is the saw carriage assembly. Taken apart, you're going to want to keep your bits and pieces straight. Not that they're super difficult to acquire. We'll have to find a new one of those. It should be rather simple to locate, but still, you're going to want to keep it all together nice and neat. And now you get the table saw taken about as far down as is humanly possible. So, from here out, it gets better.